Take a look at this picture. This was the first ever photo taken with color on the Earth by a human ever from the moon. This photo was taken by William Anders on December 24th in 1968, whilst in orbit during the Apollo 8 mission. Now, imagine this. There are billions and billions of monkey-like creatures with just slightly different DNA coding, just on this rock, floating and rotating in space. And some of these weird-looking creatures have the balls to say, I want to be rich and famous. I don't care what anybody says about me, and genuinely think they're in control over that fate. Worst still, many of these people sacrifice their time with their loved ones to achieve this goal, and believe that it will bring true happiness and contentment, just to die on this rock, all alone, wishing they would have seen things differently. In a regretful state of panic, they fade away into the nothing that they for so long ran away from. Okay, sorry for the existential crisis. I'm genuinely sorry for that. But let's be real. Let's be real here. We as a species, the human species, the weird monkeys with a bit different DNA, we're in an existential crisis right now. Whether you feel it or not, we as a species are struggling a lot, which is not really different to any other species on this planet. The average person in the West has all the food that they need, all the entertainment that they could ever wish for, all the pleasures they could ever want, and all the security they need. And what's happening? Mental health is arguably at its worst as it's ever been. And why is this? We have everything, and still we feel this void. Is it impossible to be content? Is happiness just a lofty goal that we can never reach? Are we doomed now? I'd say we're definitely not screwed. I think this is an amazing opportunity for a turning point. And for us to turn this around, we need to begin with understanding ourselves. So, why do we want to be rich and famous to begin with? And why do we sacrifice so much for it? Can it really bring true happiness and contentment? I will be exploring some of those questions with you today, my friend. So basically, money is our new food. We use our money to buy food. We use money to keep ourselves alive. And as my good old teacher from PE class many years back, he used to say the human has two wants: to reproduce and survive. In that order. So, of course, it's natural for us to be really desperate to what keeps us alive. And today, it's money. Without money, we can't get food unless we steal. But if we steal, we can get into jail. And if we get into jail, we get into a lot of problems. You know, money is at the top of our priorities when we think about from a survival perspective. Maybe not money. Maybe it's first reproducing. But that's not what I'm going to get into here. And the human is easy to misinterpret as a human, but really we're an animal, and we're a very social sort of animal. And so it's very natural for us to want to have a high status, because securing a spot in a group and in a pack also used to secure our own survival. And not only our own survival, but the survival of our species, of our pack. The human is one of the worst animals to ever be in the wild. We have no claws, our teeth are not sharp, we are not fast compared to other animals, we are not strong. So it's extremely important for us to have this brain of ours to be able to communicate and survive in groups. So this might be one of the reasons why we are so wired to want to be famous as well, because then we're basically securing a spot in the biggest pack. But the problem is, today packs and groups is more abstract than it used to be back in the day. Back in the day, we had our tribe, we were born into a tribe, and we died with the same tribe. But today, it's very different. We switch tribes. We have these group in school, and maybe we're alone for a period of time, and then then we don't know which ones we want to be with, and some packs split and some packs, it's very abstract. And some packs are only over across the web, across the internet, but we're still wired to want to be in groups. We're still wired to want to survive, obviously. So I do not judge anyone that wants to be rich and famous, but I do believe that the desire, the attachment to become rich and famous is what causes so much pain. So I want to quickly go into ego. I talk a lot about ego in my videos, and this one is no different. So the ego is basically the protector of your identity. It wants to keep whoever you think you are alive with whatever it takes. A property of this ego is to naturally fear emptiness, to fear a void. And something I believe that we are truly experiencing today across the entire species, it is a void. An inner void that we're running away from, that we're so scared of because we don't understand it. We just feel this emptiness, and it feels threatening to whoever we think we are. It's like, oh, I can't have this. So we turn to drugs, and we turn to social media, and we turn to pornography, and we turn to all of these different outlets to try to fill this void, but ultimately that void just stays there. So I want to, in this video, give a alternative view of this emptiness within. And this is heavily inspired by Eastern philosophy like Buddhism, Hinduism, and Taoism. And basically the Buddhist view, in a very simple terms, is we are here to suffer. We are here to suffer our karma. And when we've suffered through our karma, we reach enlightenment, which is true peace. And we are here to relieve others' suffering and help them, bring them home to this enlightenment state. And so living in the present is the only place we're actually truly living. And to do this, we need to embrace the void within and delving into the depths of our emptiness, because that is where truth really lies within. And it's only with this void and with this emptiness that you can reach enlightenment, that you can reach this true inner peace. Imagine that you can be in peace with emptiness. You could be at peace with a void, and you don't have to fill it. What else is there that you can't feel peace with, if you can feel peace with that? Now, I want to share with you a story, a mythology from Hinduism. There was a time when all human beings were gods, but they abused their divinity. So Brahma, the chief god, decided to take the divinity away from them and hide it somewhere they could never find. Brahma called a council of the gods to help him decide where to hide the divinity. "Let's bury it deep in the earth," said the gods. But Brahma answered, "Humans will dig into the earth and find it." Some gods suggested, "Let's sink it into the deepest oceans." But Brahma said, "No, humans will find a way to learn to dive into the ocean, and they will find it." Then some gods suggested, "Let's take it to the top of the highest mountain and hide it there." Brahma replied, "Humans will climb every mountain." Then all the gods gave up and said, "We don't know where to hide it, because it seems that there is no place on earth or ocean that human beings will not eventually reach." Brahma thought for a long time and said, "We will hide their divinity deep into the center of their own being. Humans will search for it here and there, but they will never look for the divinity inside their true selves." All the gods agreed that this was the perfect hiding place, and the deed was done. And since then, humans have been going up and down the earth, digging, diving, climbing, and exploring, searching for something which already lies within themselves. Now back to Buddhism for a second, and very simply summarized once again, contentment can only be achieved, truly achieved, through a few main ways. One of the ways is to relinquish all of your desires. And in turn, you also have to relinquish all of your attachments. And in that, you will relinquish your identity. and see through the illusion of all of your perceptions. And there, true contentment and happiness, bliss, euphoria can be truly found. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to convert you into believing in Buddhism or become a Buddhist or a Taoist or a Hinduist. But what I'm trying to show in this video is that there are alternative ways to living your life than to become the best, the biggest, the most richest. You can find happiness without having to strive for these lofty goals that you might not even reach. We don't know. We don't know if you'll reach it. And what are you sacrificing for something that you might not even reach? I'm so happy that the alternative for this can be to accept and love just being no one. And I think experience is a key word here. I believe if you do take this alternative route in life, I believe that true happiness and joy will be found through simply experiencing. Simply that you are here and experiencing this life. But I mean, you can still become rich and famous. You can do both. You can be happy and content and still end up rich and famous. That can happen. But I believe, personally, that it's better to let fate choose that for you. Let money and fame come naturally. Don't force yourself through it, especially not by hurting other people and sacrificing time with your loved ones. Today, as of recording, it is actually New Year's. It is the 31st of December, 2024, almost exactly 56 years since this picture was taken. And my New Year's resolution for 2025 is to live presently, especially with my loved ones, and to just be nobody. And I want to be of service to the world in whatever possible way that I can. How small, how big. I want to be of service just because. Leave a comment down below what you thought about this video. If you have any thoughts, if you have anything you disagree with, if you have anything you agree with, if you feel like you want to add something. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video and hit that subscribe button and click this corner if you want some more practical tips on how you can go about actually being no one. Nice to see you, my friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.